I would say I need to get some, but I literally have nowhere to put them. So
Yeah, like I don't have. I mean, I've got my narwhal cat up behind me, so.
if you get enough of them, you can make like a giant cat on a normal.
You can just go ahead and
triangle.
you could just make an entire like aquarium behind you.
Get a real narwhal.
All right, we are live. I gotta post this to Facebook. Ba, 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 ba. You know, I haven't posted my shit to Facebook in forever. And then I wonder why my Facebook friends are like, do you still do Twitch? Yes, fuckers, if you'd follow me.
My Facebook friends don't give a shit, so I never post to Facebook anymore.
Well, it's like every time I post to Facebook, someone pops in, which means I should probably do it.
I just don't post it to Facebook outside of my own page. So
That's really true. I don't post Facebook much anymore anyway. Oh shit, Lep! Hello, thank you for the subscription. That's as if you're not. You know what? I gotta get my fucking should I put my alerts on the podcast? Because my alert, I don't have an alert window on the podcast scene because I don't want it to like interrupt the podcast.
I don't, but
Eh,
I always wonder because it's like it kind of hurts the. It kind of hurts the. I don't know. Does it hurt it? I don't know.
I don't do it full because I do an audio version. But if you don't want,
That's a
to do
good
it,
point. That's a good point. I'm gonna
That's-
start doing an audio version, so I probably shouldn't.
yeah, because if you're gonna start doing them and like carrying them over to like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need, like,
It-
extra
if you're
random
doing an audio
sounds.
version, and all of a sudden it's like, blah.
Blah blah. Ha ha ha
Yeah, exactly. Last thing you
Of
want
course,
is like a
then
super
you-
serious conversation.
Then you have my fucking alert, which is the Titus laugh, like techno version. Ha 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 ha.
You don't want that for an audio version.
Yeah, no. I mean, my freaking subscribe notification is the Screaming Cowboy song. So,
You definitely don't want that.
and it's
For an
very
audio
loud.
version.
And last week, people in my chat figured out that it kind of scares the crap out of me. So I got like
Oh yeah,
3 subs in a row, and it's very loud in my ears. every
Oh,
time.
you
I'm
poor
always like,
thing! 3 subs. Whatever
my
will
friend-
you do?
My friend had a similar situation
horrible.
when he used to stream. He played Outlast, and whenever he'd read a note, one of my friends would donate, and his donate sound was a gunshot.
Oh god.
So he'd be reading a note in a horror game, and it would just be like, like right in his ear, and he'd freak the fuck out. It was great.
That's horrible.
Oh my god.
He made so much money that night just from donations.
Yeah, I actually thought of putting up like a soundboard for donations so that, especially during October, which there's only like a week left. But
Where the fuck did October go?
dude, I don't know.
Oh wow, I put on some lo-fi and that shit got loud really quickly.
I don't even
Hi-Fi.
know where October went. But yeah, I thought of doing like spooky sound effects so that my chat could like donate and try to scare the shit out of me.
I don't even know, man. This is like I had so many like grand aspirations for this month, and then it just all went to shit. Like nothing I have planned outside. I mean, obviously I've been pretty regular with streaming, but like Spooktober obviously didn't happen, which I knew that wasn't gonna happen. My spooky related streams, we've done like 3 of them. You know? And I counted fucking Sea of Thieves as one because it has skeletons in it. And we didn't even fight any fucking skeletons that session. We did not fight nary. No, we did fight a handful of skeletons.
Hey,
But,
we fought like
Yeah.
3.
oh,
And the
wow.
and the giant megalodon.
Yeah, but the giant megalodon didn't scare me. It just scared Vivid because he had never seen it before. He was shitting his
Yeah. Because I thought you had to go to like a specific area, but no.
Oh, no, not anymore. No, it used to. When they first put him in, you had to.
Oh, okay.
You had to actually
But
use the
It
drum.
doesn't even like matter because like the sharks just scare you, Eric. So
Okay,
you
look,
were
I
terrified, like, the
no,
whole
no,
time.
no. You don't have to tell
Yeah,
everyone that.
Yeah,
I'm deleting the VOD, so no one can prove that.
it's fine. There's video evidence of it from my clip. of
Shit,
me-
fuck. You're right. Okay, you're right. Shit, I can't delete that one. You clipped it. I saw you deleted this off of Twitter. Here, let me tag you in it again.
Weird.
Oh.
Eric, this video disappeared. I'm sure you did that on accident. Let me tag you.
Here,
I'll make sure you see it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
here,
All
I
the-
made
all the
you a
right tags
highlight.
in. Now all your viewers can enjoy it.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Yep.
thank you everyone for watching and listening. The podcast is over. Good night. Goodbye.
That's it.
No, that's it. We've outed me as a bitch. It has to end now. Oh god, no! But thank you guys so much for coming in. This is the Fireside Chat podcast. It's our Sunday podcast that we do every Sunday. Obviously, boy, that was redundant as shit. But yeah, this is our Sunday podcast. Sunday podcast that we do every Sunday. I'm just gonna start saying that from now on.
Hey, it's Monday for me, so you know it's useful.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. How does it feel to be in the future, Vivid?
Yeah.
You know.
So, what's the weather like tomorrow?
How's life in the future?
how's life in the future? Very dark. It's almost like nighttime.
Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, again, you guys, thank you guys so much for being here, listening. I am going to try to be getting this podcast on to other sources, such as Spotify and others. Vivid was working with me last week about getting that set up, but we have to resume that. The podcast last week is up on YouTube. This one will also be up on YouTube, and hopefully I'll have both last week and this week's podcast up on Spotify and other streaming services very soon. But how has y'all's week's been? What have y'all been up to this week?
You know, this week kind of just flew by for the most
It
part.
really did.
I'm glad
I
it
was
did
like,
for you.
yeah. I was just like, I didn't do as much as I wanted to this week. I got like the review out at the start of the week, and then between then and now, I've done very little. I did the podcast. I did some streams, and I've basically just been working on the charity stream stuff, and that's about it. That's been my entire life for the last couple of days, and will continue to be for the next week.
Fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
My week went by really quick. It was super busy at work. And then
God damn, don't get me started about work.
I know, right? That topic.
Oh god.
And then
This
I finished my essay, my final essay for school. Turned that in today. Got that shit done. And that's kind of all I did.
I mean, that's
weekend.
good.
Did you do a Marvel stream this week?
I did a Marvel stream on Monday, and I will do another one tomorrow.
Your typical Monday streams?
Yeah, my typical Monday streams. I did work the burlesque show on Friday, so my Friday was super busy, and I'm super tired still from that because that keeps me up way past my bedtime. And then not even yesterday. This morning, 4 a.m., I had to call the cops on my neighbors.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So Ben and I wake up at 4 a.m. this morning to not like a loud music,
Mm-hmm.
but an audible like pounding bass, like a rap bass.
What the fuck?
And like we could just hear like the bass from rap music, and it was just going, and it was loud enough to like that we could definitely hear it. And I thought it was a car because I had seen a car in the parking lot like a couple weeks ago that had this absolutely horrible bass system in their car that like vibrated everything around it, and I hate that shit so much because it just sounds stupid.
But Leppely, how else are they going to show you that their dick is bigger than yours?
Right? I know, and it was my fault for not acknowledging that. But so I thought it was this car, and then it just never went away. And Ben went to go like sleep on the couch, and you can't hear it in the living room, so it was coming from like the room next to our bedroom.
Oof.
And so I investigated because I laid in bed like for a little bit because I was like, oh, surely they'll leave, like because I thought it was the car. I was like, surely they'll leave.
Surely it'll stop.
Now.
Yeah.
And then it just kept going. So I laid there for like 30 minutes until finally I got up and investigated. and like I walked like all around our building, and you can't hear it anywhere
Right.
except like a little bit in the parking lot, like behind their window, like our bedrooms.
Mm.
And then in our bedroom, if you like listen up against their wall. And I was like, so it's clearly this unit. And so after like 45 minutes of it just not stopping, I called the cops, and I was like,
I mean, you
I'm
had
gonna
to at that point.
yeah, I was like, I gotta file a noise complaint because my neighbors are playing very loud bass heavy music, and it woke us up about an hour ago, and it hasn't stopped since. And I didn't include the fact that when I was walking around the complex, I walked past their front door and it just reeked of weed, which personally, I don't give a shit. I don't have a problem with, but
Right.
it is still illegal here.
Yeah.
So I left that part out, and I was like,
Look,
the
I don't want
cops
y'all
will-
to get locked up for weed, even though
the
I'm,
cops will stop by and they'll find it anyway.
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I need to file a noise complaint because this has gone on for an hour now, and it's 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to, like, I mean, it's one thing to play louder music, but I mean, when it's like
Yeah, like I don't have a
at
problem.
appropriate hours.
Like from the hours, even like 8 a.m. is pushing it, but most people are awake by then. So like between the hours of 8 a.m. and like 10 p.m., if you want to play your loud music, that's fine. But so help you, if it wakes me up
Oh God, you've
at
woken the
4
demon
in the
there.
morning, I will make you pay. Like you just don't fucking do that. You live in an apartment where you're like 10 feet away from your neighbor.
We
What is
literally
your problem?
I had this for like the entire first year of uni, but instead of the one next to me, it was the one below me.
Oh man. See, I know all of the other people in like my proximity,
Mhm.
and the ones next to us are the only ones that are brand new as of like a couple weeks ago. So I was like, none of the other ones, they've been here for months and months, and this is not something they do. So
Mm.
clearly, process of elimination here.
Just
Wonder
very
who it
ticket
is.
Who could it be?
Yeah. So yeah, I called the cops on my neighbors at 5 o'clock this morning.
Mm.
So
Leppely the Narc. New remote Leppel
yeah.
Narc coming to 3.
Level up.
Level narc. Yeah, no, and I'll tolerate like a lot of shit. Like our neighbors that were in that apartment. Okay, and I'm off topic, but similar topic. I'm pretty sure that apartment's cursed because that's the
Cursed or
apartment.
haunted?
Both?
Oh boy.
Question mark?
The ghost of R&B artists, aren't they?
because the tenants that were there before these people, the guy he just gave me like a really bad vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
And
remember you discussing it. I think we discussed this on the show.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
was like there was clearly domestic abuse going on because there was always screaming, and like at one point the lady had like a black eye and she was like beat up, and he was like made it a point to show off his gun to our neighbor and all this shit, and I was just like, these people gotta go. And
Texas
so
is fucking weird, dude.
yeah, Texas is a wild time, to
Texas
be
is
honest.
fucking weird, man.
But then before that, uh, when we first moved in, there was a lady living there,
Right.
and I like never saw her. I saw her once and then never saw her again. And I was like, all right, so is she like a vampire? Is she dead? Like what's going on? And then it turns out she just like abandoned her apartment, including her cat, which she just left to die in the apartment. And I was
Awful.
very upset by that. And if I had ever seen her, I probably would have punched her in the face.
That
But-
hurts. Speaking of abandoned cats, where the fuck did mine go? She's in his room somewhere, but I can't find her anywhere.
You know, judging with the recent history of Twitch and that's maybe you don't want to be saying.
Maybe I don't want. I don't know.
Maybe you don't want to sound neglectful.
I think she's in the living room somewhere, which means I'm gonna hear scratching at my door in about 20 minutes.
Oh no.
You've left me we've been separated all day long, and now you're gonna keep me away again. Meh. That's what
But
she
I'm pretty
does.
sure that apartment is cursed. So yeah, that's that.
Oh gosh, that's. So how was your week, Vivid? What eventful things did you do?
I went to a career swing. That's about it. Went to a career swing, signed a fuck ton of paperwork. Like a ridiculous amount of paperwork. Most of it was exactly the same. That was a load of nonsense. Other than that, I made some new Twitch scenes with After Effects.
That's always fun. I
took me
need to do
4
that.
hours. That took me 4 fucking hours because I'm an idiot and I don't use pre-made ones. I make everything myself. And my PC isn't good with After Effects, so that took me way too long.
Is After Effects a free software?
No.
Oh.
It is an Adobe software.
Oh no, it's not. It's not free.
It's not free.
No.
I mean,
I wish it was free, but it ain't free.
it's free if you're Captain Worldwide, but
Done it.
Yeah, it's free if you're
Captain 305.
yeah, that's the 305. We're not saying
the
we're
listeners,
not saying Pitbull is a thief, by the way. That's
the
a reference to
listeners,
his
the
thief.
listeners have no idea what the fuck we're referencing.
Yeah.
No one, except for people who have seen that clip of mine. That's the only ones that have any idea what the fuck we're talking about.
100% not alluding that Pitbull is a
Yeah.
an
Oh
internet.
god, we're gonna get Pitbull arrested by association.
Don't sue us, Pitbull.
Or actually, you know what? No, I'd
Level Dark
lose.
strikes again.
I'd lose, but go ahead and sue us, Pitbull, because the publicity might save my career. We'll settle out of court,
I love you, Mr. 305.
but the publicity would be fantastic.
Speaking of lawsuits, today's topic's probably going to end up in one some way.
Oh yeah, if we don't somehow get, I really hope us talking about it doesn't end up sucking us into it in some way, shape, or form. We'll get to that later. But
You know, we're not worth enough points, so I think
no, we'll get to that in a second. I want to talk about my shit sucking week since we talked about Leppely's. So Tuesday was good. Tuesday was fun. I had a job interview Tuesday. It went very well.
How has this week flown by and felt like it lasted 4 weeks at once? What
No
the shit?
fucking clue. All right, you ready for this? So Tuesday I had a job interview. Went very well. I moved on to the part where they wanted my references, so I gave them my couple coworkers and my friend Zach. To my knowledge, they've already called all 3. So I'm hoping Monday I'll hear about if I can finally put in my 2 weeks notice at Layaka, which means if I get this job, this stream, this podcast will start earlier. Because because if I work Sunday, the place closes at fucking 5 o'clock. The latest I'll be working is 6, which means the latest this podcast would start is like 7:30, 8 o'clock my time, which is like 7 o'clock Leppely's time, and a lot more reasonable for Vivid's time.
I wouldn't have to take a nap before the stream.
Yes.
Like,
We'd go live at,
legit.
it would be like 1 a.m. your time, and everything would be okay, because you wouldn't be going to...
I don't know how you do it, Vivid, because it only starts at like
Yeah.
9:30 my time, and I still have to take a nap
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I feel
I take like a 4-hour nap, and then I'm like, okay, and then
I feel
go
like
in, and then
there,
after this, I take another 4 hours.
ever since we started this podcast, I think there have been 2 fucking occasions where we could have started early, and both of those fell on a Sunday where we didn't do the podcast.
Yes,
Yep.
I think so.
I legit think so. But anyway, after that, the week went to shit. My car got towed again, even though I was actually I didn't tell you guys about this. My car got towed again.
You mentioned the original towing.
You mentioned
Yeah.
it got towed.
This time the bitch was in my parking spot. It's a long story. It's a long story. So, I can't believe I'm actually about to say this on stream. So about 2 months ago, I pay my car payment manually, right? So about 2 months ago, I was in a rush because I pay it when I get my extra check from work for doing all the extra stuff I do. That basically goes with the car payment. Because of that, I do it manually. I don't have it auto paid. I also don't like paying in decimals. I like paying in whole numbers. So whenever I do a payment like that, I always pay in a full amount. So I think my car payment comes up to like it's like $241 some change or something like that. So I usually just pay $242. Apparently, in a rush because I was late for work that day, I typed in $212. Okay, that's the end of that. So I was about $30 short. Dominion Power messed me up with when we moved to this apartment. They got my due dates wrong. They told me that it was going to be due the 24th. The due date was the 14th. So when I go to pay it, I'm sitting at 2 bills. I didn't want to be late on the second bill, so I went ahead and paid both of them at the same time. My roommates eventually got the money back to me. That meant I paid about $600 at one time. So I knew my car payment was going to be late because, look, I can't afford to pay this amount of money. I don't want to go below a certain amount of my bank account, all that stuff. So I pushed it off, thinking it would be about 10 or 11 days late. No big deal. It was 45 days late. Do you know what happens because I was short? Do you know what car companies do when you're 45 days late?
I'm about to just take your fucking car.
They
Right?
come and they tow your car. So I had to pay $300 to get my car back. And then I have to pay about another $150 when I go pick it up sometime this week. So I've been driving my brother's car, which means I haven't gotten my plane ticket yet for PAX South, which I was supposed to get this week. Because I spent the plane ticket money to get my car back. But on the positive side, this week has been busy as fuck at work, so I've actually made a lot of decent money. So I don't think I've gotten home before midnight the last 3 nights because of work. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night were all midnight coming home, which is why streams pretty much haven't happened this week. I come home late at night, and then I have friends playing games, so I end up playing with them. Like I played with Alley Cat last night until like 4 a.m., which means I end up waking up really fucking late, which means I haven't been able to stream. So streams have hardly not happened this week. But hopefully everything is settled down. After this week, I can get my car back. I don't have any busy nights. I should have my streams back up tonight. So it has been a crazy fucking week. Like you said, David, it has gone by super quickly, but also felt like a month long.
It really has.
Yes. So I don't want to waste too much time before we get to the topic because this topic is going to take a little bit of time to talk about. So I am going to kill the lo-fi that we have playing right now because I'm going to be playing a video. Now, we're talking today about Royale streamers. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a SparkNote rundown of what Royale streamers are. So, to explain them, you kind of have to explain stream teams and stuff like that. And we've talked about that a little bit on this podcast in the past. Stream teams are basically, a group of streamers that work together. They do different things depending on the stream team, but generally they are about supporting each other and promoting each other and also building a bit of a family and a team. They do team events, team streams, etc. The 3 of us are kind of a stream team. We just don't have an official name for ourselves.
We're like a stream gang.
Yeah, we're like a stream gang right now because we don't have an official title, but pretty much. Hey Rob, how's it going? But yeah, so that's kind of like what they are. Well, Royale streamers took that to an extreme level, and basically I don't even know how to describe what they did. It's kind of like, you know what? I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if Trouble really. A YouTuber that we follow, not a YouTuber, but he streams and stuff like that. TroubleTruck kind of goes in depth about them. But how would you describe them?
He has a good 2 videos on the matter. They do have.
We're gonna be watching one on stream, by the way. I've actually gotten his permission to use the video footage, so we'll actually be watching it and kind of breaking it down as we go. But
they do have their intro somewhere here. I'm trying to find that for you right now, because he actually includes that in one of his videos. It's their kind of little intro to be like who we are, kind of thing,
Yeah.
So hopefully, okay. So this is the Royale streamer introduction. This is included in one of TroubleTruck's videos. The second one, I don't know if you want to link that in chat or something. This is a response to the response Royale streamers made to his initial video, and as well as some of the other claims that were coming out about them, which we'll get into. But the introduction it says, first and foremost, welcome to Royale, a professional streamer community. The purpose of this community is to be a place for like-minded streamers that are looking to network and grow their stream. The underlying principle of Royale is you get what you put in. Being in this Discord will not magically grow your stream. In order to do so, you need to support other members here, and in turn, you will be supported. The system is designed so that those who support others the most receive the most support from the community. This balance is upheld by a point incentive system. That's the introduction. So essentially, they're a community that, as they claim to do, support each other by incentivizing engagement with multiple streams via a point system. That's kind of what they're doing here to help people grow and help people to get to other levels like affiliate, like maybe even partnership. That's kind of their objectives according to them.
Right.
Anyway.
Not exactly how they actually do it. That's sort of a nice fancy little ribbon they like to post on the whole bullshit, but it's not actually what they do. Effectively. So, I'm going to basically, I have the video here, right there. It's going to take place at our fireplace, so the fireplace is going to go out for a little bit. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to play the video, and then pause it. You guys have the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys are going to watch the stream from it or whatnot, but I'm going to play little pieces of it, and I'm going to pause throughout the video to sort of talk about what he says.
That's fair.
Sort of break down his breakdown, if you will.
Yes.
Before I get into this, I do want to say one thing for anyone listening, because I don't want anyone to like get all pissed off at me before we actually get going here. There was something I was seeing on Twitter where people were like, oh, well, they're actually talking to him. It's like, oh, well, if you're going to say all this, you're attacking stream teams in general. Not the case at all. All right, that's why I went on that little tirade there about stream teams in the first place, because a true stream team like the three of us, or Scrub Force, which is the stream team I'm personally trying to join, or Team Catalyst, if you will, Team Crystallarium, those stream teams are nothing like Royale streamers.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. There is no point system. There really isn't a leader at the top. Like, there's someone that created it, and there's usually like an admin or a person that like manages, like a manager.
It's more of a flat playing field.
Exactly. It's not like the tradition. Like, it's not like anything that these guys do. So I don't want anyone to think that me or Trouble or anyone. I don't know how Trouble feels about him, but I don't want anyone thinking that I am coming after stream teams in general. Okay, so we're going to stop it there. We're going to go ahead and let Trouble talk here for a little bit here. I'm going to unmute this video, and let's take a listen. I just unmuted you.
Hey, I used to be a member of Royale Streamers. We're up to some weird stuff. Would you like to DM me and talk about it so I can maybe get into the scoop? But if we talk, please leave my name out there. At the time, I dismissed that message. I thought, well, yeah, no shit, Royale Streamers is up to some shady stuff. They don't exactly make an effort to hide that, and I just chalked it up to someone being paranoid. It wasn't until the second person reached out that I started to maybe get a little concerned. The second person said, hey, this Royale streamer stuff goes deeper than you know. I want to talk about it, but I'm scared of retaliation from the founder if I do it. Please DM me if you promise to keep this a secret. Overall, I spoke to 5 different people with compiling stuff for this story to make sure that the facts that I got lined up and get as much information as possible. Not a single one of them wanted to be named in this report for fear of retaliation and reasons why I'll become
I'm going to turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it up a little bit, but I want to pause it. You can't hear anything? Let me see if I can get the, I'm going to get the desktop audio up a little bit. That's going to make the two of y'all a little bit louder as well.
Mm-hmm. You can bring us down in Discord.
Oh yeah, I can bring you guys down a little bit in Discord here. I'll bring you guys down a little bit to about 150 here. Okay, so I brought the two of them down. Rob, just let me know if they get too loud. They got my volume down. But basically, what he just said to start off here before I unpaused it was these 5 people DM'd him and basically were like, "Hey, we want to tell you about what's going on in this group that's kind of plaguing Twitch, if you will. We don't want you to name us because." Yes. Hi. Hello.
I'm about to go to bed, but you need to
What the fuck
See
is
this?
this? Hold on,
Read
we
it.
have an intermission. We have intermission.
Lady,
What the fuck is
fuck out of
this,
here,
Tom?
it's hard cider with Carolina Reaper in it, as well as jalapenos.
I thought this was a good idea.
Oh, it tastes
Goddamn,
fucking
Tom.
fantastic, dude.
Carolina Reaper hard cider?
Yes.
By the way, I'm a big fan of your cork here. What the fuck?
This is how it came. I bought it from the brewery, or the cidery, I guess.
Well, what we gotta do is we gotta get that Sonic one.
For everyone on the stream, I was up in the mountains this weekend, and Bold Rock Cider, you might know them, they're a big brand, is based out of there. And I got Carolina Reaper infused hard cider from Bold Rock Cider. I took a sample of it, it's
sponsored.
really good.
Not
Yeah,
sponsored. Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Alright.
Eric, I expect a bottle of
We
that.
need to do a video of you drinking it, because I think we need to drink this.
Huh?
I like it. He might not get... I'm a huge chili head.
That might be a
As
video.
potentially destructive as some of the claims coming out about Royale streamers to get us on track here.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know that it exists.
Thank you.
So you can go back to your stream.
Ah, dear.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for the intermission, Tom.
Yep. Y'all have a good night, Vivid and Leppely.
Bye, Tom.
Tom said hi and bye. Rob says hi and bye as well. Okay, so anyway, all right. So I'm sorry. He told me he was going to show me that. I just didn't realize he was going to show me that right now.
I expect a bottle of that at PAX South, by the way.
I'll see what I can do. That involves me driving to the mountains before PAX South. So I'll order some online and bring it to you, so we can all try it then. Anyway.
Yeah.
Basically, back to what I was saying about this video. Basically, he was basically saying that these guys did not want to be named because of fear of retaliation. And if that does not flare off red flags, I don't know what will.
Anytime
That can be a
somebody
lot
says,
of
"Hey,
things.
I've got information,
Yeah.
but just don't mention my name." It's usually not a good thing.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different ways that can go, and like we'll get into my actual thoughts on all of this and whatever, but like when it comes to not sharing your information, confidentiality can be quite a standard thing, just because if it is damning, you can be taken up on that.
Yeah.
If you're damaging the company, especially if, say, they were to find the evidence not substantial or correct, even if it is,
Right.
if they're not to find that, that can be brought up against you, and you can have repercussions of that. Not to mention, obviously, if this group is as big as they claim it to be, because they make the claim of it being
Which
around
we'll get to. I think
20,000 people.
Yeah.
I think he touches upon that in this video.
Yeah, I think he
but
touches that in this one here.
that's a lot of people, and
So-
with an incentive to them.
Let's continue. Let's continue watching this and see where he goes from there.
Pretty shortly here. So to very briefly explain how it works if you don't know, Royale Streamers is a system that's designed to inflate numbers through artificial interaction. It pretty much is the reason for this quote from Twitch, where they come out, where Twitch came out against forms of lurk for lurk, follow for follow, host for host, or what they call fake engagement. And Royale Streamers has a whole system in place to encourage this. See, members get points by doing things like watching other streams, or chatting in other streams, or hosting members, or giving money to other members, and it's all set up with this internal point system that runs through every single thing that they do. The idea behind it being you get out what you put in, and what they claim is that users are rewarded fairly for the time and effort that they put into the community. So they claim. In reality, fairness turned out to mean fair for the two people at the top and not so much for everyone else. See, as far as I can tell, the only people earning any kind of real money are Raker and Xavier at the top. Anybody else working in that system, the ones that did get this, got paid in what's called a point salary. Basically for doing administrative tasks like moderation or being part of their audit team, they would get paid in points. And it would be a way to reward them without actually having to pay their admins and mods. Some of these people reported working 30 to 40 hours a week for Royale streamers, all on a point salary. And these points aren't exactly solid. See, they call the system fair, but in reality, they use a lot of their rules to maintain a level of control over it. And while the system for giving out points is fairly well defined, the system for taking them away is, I think, intentionally complex.
you can get points taken away for having too long of a conversation in someone's chat, or by having interaction that they don't deem genuine.
I want to pause it there for a second. How can you talk
Mm-hmm.
about something not being genuine, but then say that the conversation went on too fucking long?
Yeah.
I don't understand where their basis is coming from here. And again, I hope you guys can hear it because I do know the video is a little bit. It is a little bit quieter than my loud ass mouth is, but I don't understand how you can make that claim. Like, oh, if your conversation is going on too long, you're not being genuine. Like, no, fuck you. Like as a streamer, I don't want the conversation to stop. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Like,
It's I mean, look. In my opinion, if you're doing a points-based system anyway, having the ability to remove points is already fucking weird.
Yeah.
true.
Having that weird thing where it's like, oh, you can get points removed from you, and I was like, well, to me at least, that's where potentially some of the unfairness of such a system would come in, where they could be like, well, we don't like this guy, remove points from him, come up with some
Yeah.
bullshit reason. Oh, you talked for so long in some chat. You know what I mean? It's like that's where it's maybe not as unbiased as they perhaps claim to be, because there's no strict rules. And I had this discussion on the podcast with Blizzard and their weird rules with the China thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we even mentioned it a bit as well on the last one of these. But
Yeah, when
it's
I was
like-
talking about how I'm not going to stream any Blizzard games on this channel.
Yeah.
it's this weird like loose term, which means they can kind of bend it however they see fit, and because they've written it there, they can be like, well, it's there,
Mm-hmm.
nothing set in stone, you know what I mean? And
Right.
then they can adapt that and change that to better suit their image, and I think that's probably what we're going to see out of this in the coming weeks. But Blizzard did the same thing, it was like, oh, I can't believe you said a political view, 12 months and no prize money. And then they were like, actually, we listened to our community, 6 months, you get your prize money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
It's that whole
weird.
it's that whole I don't know, because I don't know if you guys follow the NBA or not, but that whole shut up and
Mhm.
dribble thing that everyone tried to say, where it was like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys are athletes, you guys aren't allowed to have a voice in the political world. And again, I don't like getting too political on here. I said that last week. I try to stay clear of my personal policies online, but you can't sit there and say you're not allowed to have a voice. Like, if I want to make a stand on something, and I don't know if my stream is buffering for everyone or just myself here, but
Just you.
okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's just my thing. Is I don't see how you could tell someone they're not allowed to have a voice. That's beyond fucked up in my opinion.
That's a load of bollocks,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Saying
like,
you're
and
not
to
allowed
get-
to voice defeats just everything.
yeah, like not to get political, but like that was always my argument during like election time is when
Mhm.
people like celebrities start coming out with their opinions, and if it doesn't align with like someone else's opinions, they're like,
Mhm.
oh, you should just stick to acting, you're just a stupid actor, like what do you know about politics, you don't have any right to say. And I'm like,
It's like they've probably played a politician for one.
right? Well, the reality is, like, if you're a citizen of that country, you
Mhm.
have a voice
Mhm.
because that's how it works. Like, you don't get to just be like, no, you don't get a voice,
That's what democracy
because
is.
that's when you start to get into things like China and dictatorships.
I was gonna say things like China. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's when you start going down that path. That is not a good path. So yeah, like it's ridiculous. It's completely dumb.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this back up here.
Very nebulous, right? It's intentionally designed as a rule to say, hey, if we don't like you or you don't play to our rules, we can pretty much take your points away at any given time and for whatever reason we feel like. And this didn't only apply to the top. Their moderation
Kind of touching
team, there
upon
were
what
reports
we
of people
discussed
just
there.
assigning points to people that are friends, buddy systems. The reports of people paying others to be on their account so that they could farm more points whenever they were gone or away on vacation. And it just all made this culture of getting points that was quote unquote fair, but filled with a bunch of weird and shady practices that underline the whole thing. And they accomplish all of this with a bot that sits in their members'
Can we pause
channels
there for a
and
moment?
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
So, so essentially, he talks about the point system there, and in the follow-up video, he actually discusses the point system a bit. Yeah, he discusses the point system a bit more, and it kind of shows the weird way this point system actually works. And whilst on paper a point system isn't inherently bad, it's a it's an incentive, but it's the way their point system is kind of weighted and the way it's meant to work, which kind of really messes this up. So first of all, I sent a statement to you guys. I'll also put it in the Twitch chat here if it lets me. It's the Liliana G one. So in this Twitter post, she actually kind of discusses their point system where they actually have things like resets. Now, I can't confirm or deny whether they still have these resets, personally, because I'm not part of their group. I don't know whether this is still a thing.
Likewise.
Yeah, we're not part of the group.
No.
So we can't confirm or deny, but this is just the information that we have. So if this is wrong, please, someone let us know. People, essentially, they'd have resets. And because they'd have resets, people would just not bother engaging because the reset's coming up and they wouldn't get the points. They wouldn't get enough points for it to be worthwhile. So they would just wait around until a reset and then start engaging, which to me, that mentality and that attitude kind of removes the idea of being part of a group in general. Surely that attitude of, well, I'm not going to engage and get points, that kind of defeats the purpose of being in a community which is supposed to encourage engagement. To me, at least.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah, that seems a bit weird. It seems very shallow, very see-through. And then you actually look at their point system. So this is from TroubleTruck's follow-up video, which I do recommend you watch both of these, by the way. They're very
Yes,
insightful
definitely. I definitely
into this
recommend it.
scenario. So that's the link to the second video for those in chat. At about 4 minutes 51 in, he actually brings up on screen the points distribution as it was at the time of making that video. So, and basically, they kind of have tiers of streamer, and the higher tier streamer you engage with, the more points you get.
Yeah.
How is that in any way a system that encourages growth?
Yeah, because you're no longer supporting the smaller guys. Why would if I'm in that group, like for example, if I'm in that group, why would I bother coming into a stream like mine?
Exactly. Why would you ever bother watching someone like the three of us, for example?
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
When
Because
you
like
could go
anybody,
watch the people at the top.
Yeah.
Who
Like
are
let's say Allie's in the group. Why would I spend? I would spend all my time watching her because she's got the 90, 100 plus viewers. Like I'm watching her.
Exactly. And it's a weird system. I'm trying my hardest not to swear. Yeah. It's a very strange and unusual system looking at this. Because you're encouraging people to go to the top streamers when surely the idea of encouraging growth, you would incentivize people to go to the smaller streamers.
to the smaller ones. Yeah.
Because that's what brings them up. And if you're looking at this as a business, surely you want people to go to the smaller streamers because then that brings them up, gets them more into your system.
And in the end brings you more revenue. But okay, I have no idea. So let's continue with this here.
Okay.
Everything in their chat from their own members.
He's talking about a bot, by the way.
Just from other people.
Yes,
And
we'll
it uses that
touch
information
upon
and
that
runs
as he
them
wraps
through
this
an
up.
algorithm to determine your genuine score. Now, I've blanked out some of the information because, from what I can tell, Raker can tell a lot about information from people. But what this bot did was assign how many messages in your chat were deemed genuine and how many were deemed ungenuine. Because you got points for chatting and because the genuine engagement was so valued, it was important for them to make that sure. So what they would do is analyze every word, all of the phrases, and their bot would look for certain phrases that it deemed like sketchy and flag them as being non-genuine. And this isn't exactly a surprise, but it's to demonstrate the level of technology that they are working with and the power and capability of this bot, which will be important here in a minute. And a lot of people know and are aware that this bot tracks chat messages, but there's actually a lot more to it than that. This bot, once you sign up for Royale streamers and you're on their list, tracks donations, bits, new subs, new followers, possibly other donations outside of the system. It's not entirely clear what all it tracks. The only person that knows all of that is Raker, but this bot is logging that for all of its members. And the real issue comes in when you ask them to remove the bot. If you ask them to remove the bot, depending on who you talk to, it'll claim that it goes away for like a week, but it still tracks you. And as far as I can tell, there's no way to actually get them to stop tracking your information when you've asked. And I've confirmed this with several other people, and it's something you can confirm yourself. If you search Royale streamers on Twitter, you'll see people talking about this. And
I want to pause there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are we dealing with here that has access to a bot, that has access to the kind of technology to do this?
So, interesting thing about the follow-up interview they did. They were talking about the bot, and they said that it isn't a data scraping bot. It literally is, because a data scraping bot is like it's also known as web scraping. It imports information from a website and then allows it to go to other channels. That's what it is. They denied that it was that. And more importantly, interesting thing that he mentioned there, he said no one really knows what it's tracking other than Raker. That's what he said, I believe. That is...
Yes.
That's illegal. That's straight up illegal here in the EU. Because we have the GDPR, which essentially means you have to disclose everything. Like, people may remember when it was a meme for a while about the privacy thing. Like, that's, when websites now goes, we value your privacy. This is what we're going to track. Where the EU is the reason that happened. Is because we have the GDPR, and we have to have everything disclosed to us. So the fact that not everything is straight up breaking the law here if there's EU citizens using this, which it almost definitely is.
Yeah.
I would imagine, yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
But the fact remains, we're dealing with a man, or whoever, I assume it's the guy, Raker, who has the ability to program a bot that can scrub Twitch, follows all their people, looks through messages and donations. Like, is there any point where Twitch could have got involved? I guess that's why they are now. I guess now they are. Now they've brought their attention.
They are now that it's a little
because isn't that illegal on that end? Like, you're basically breaking into Twitch, and
I'd imagine Amazon would have something to say about that, especially if it's a kind of thing where Amazon aren't aware that this is happening.
Yeah. Because I mean, wouldn't Amazon have to? Because I mean, obviously, like, Amazon has to disclose what information they're taking. Like, you have to be able to see where it's coming from, and like, if Amazon is taking information, you have to be able to know about it. But there has to be some type of legal loophole or something legality-wise to take that information and use it in something else.
Twitch offers up its API.
Yes.
For developers to build the extensions and all of the little apps and stuff that connect to our Twitch channels. So the API is out there, and that's probably what he was working on as far as like Twitch and Discord, because that's all
public domain.
Yeah, it's all out there for developers to use, with the hopes that they'll build something beneficial. For the overall community, and not just scrape private information for their own gain, which is where it's going to come back and bite Raker in the ass.
and it might be sooner rather than later if this Twitter thread by Helix_VR on Twitter is anything to go by, because he actually released kind of some of the things that were going on. They're talking about the Discord bot in particular, kind of, and the Discord bot is a little bit different to the Twitch bot, but this thread shines a light quite well on the scenario going
Yeah.
on there, because the Discord bot essentially tracks your activities on Discord. It tracks the servers you're part of, and kind of what you're saying in them. uh, so if you look at this thread here, they actually have a chat in this thread, dedicated to just a Royale bot posting when a member of their Discord has joined the Twitch Kittens Discord or a different Discord or something else, and it tracks their competitors.
No, that tweet didn't load for me. I tried to load that
Yeah.
tweet up, but it didn't. It didn't
Oh,
work.
really?
Yeah. Oh, I just tried to load it up just now on
It might have been
Thing.
doxxed.
Oh boy.
might have been taken down.
No,
I've still got it up.
It's still there. Yeah.
Well, it tried to load something up for me and it didn't
Okay.
go where I was.
But yeah, so this kind of
Yeah,
information is the
this-
most sus for me.
Yeah,
personally.
because this bot
Because-
is actually wild because it tracks how long they'd been a member
Yes.
of Royale streamers, and it will send an alert to say they've been with us for X number of days and now they've joined competitor
Yes.
whatever.
Even in the first message here, in fact, he does have his DMs with this person as well. So this is a conversation between Raker and Helix. From Raker, I have a new job for you if you're interested. Helix, what's that? Head of espionage from Raker, the smiley face. Helix says, I thought I was already doing that. Raker, yeah, but we're taking it to the next level. Helix says, well, I can squeeze it in with my modding job. Then it continues. Do you think if this is from Raker now, do you think you can create a blacklist of names comprised of leaders / key people in competitor communities? So that's a that's a bit of a sus thing,
Yeah.
because again, now I get that stream teams can be competitive. I think like you want people in your stream team, but at the same time, if you're really this goody good, hey, we just want you to grow, why the fuck wouldn't you let them join other things?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
why the fuck wouldn't you let them go, yeah, I'm just gonna join this team because I'm preferring the way this one works, it suits me better? And why the fuck wouldn't you make it easier for them to opt out of your goddamn data tracking thing, which is a legal requirement under GDPR?
Yeah.
That's a legal requirement that you have, like, that users can A, say no, and B, say, I don't want to do this anymore, stop tracking me. It's called the right to be forgotten, also known as data erasure. The right to be forgotten entitles that the data subject to have his or her personal data deleted from the logs of data controllers. The right to be forgotten also enables them to halt or cease further distribution and use of the data by third parties. And as TroubleTruck mentioned in his video, it says it goes away for like a week and then comes back.
Yeah.
That's
That's
straight up
that's
against the
illegal.
right to be
Yeah,
forgotten.
and again, this is mostly talking about UK law, but you know, there's got to be some type of American law that maybe I'm just unfamiliar with that has something to do with this as well.
The UK and EU law are kind of like more strict, so this is kind of like that thing, more appropriate for that. But the fact is, because of this thing, it applies to everything. So because the EU is such a big territory, you often find that they apply it in general. Like,
Yeah, because it's
very
one of
few
those things.
companies.
It has to. It goes
Yeah.
from like the smallest,
Exactly.
you know, and then works out from there. So if a smaller country or group like the EU compared to like some of the other places set forth these rules, those rules would have to be enforced everywhere else, because you can't just have like broader rules that
Yeah, it's like for a lot of companies won't go out of their way to be a dick to America because the entirety of the EU, like, has of law saying no, you have to abide by this. They will do it for all of it because that's easier, and also it looks better if they do it for all of it because it makes them look like a more trustworthy company.
Right.
You know, and I believe TroubleTruck did post a thing talking about this is on his Twitter page, which I recommend you give him a follow. He's a funny dude when he isn't tweeting about this.
Yes.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah, his tweets are pretty quality stuff.
Yeah, and
His belties are
I
supreme.
believe he did include a tweet talking about how to opt out of the system, but the fact that it isn't very
it isn't
clear,
working. On top of that,
and it might not even be working on top of that. Yeah, you know, that's just straight up bad.
So, we're going to continue on with his video here.
This is important because it inflates their numbers. They claim that they are the largest community on Twitch with 20,000 active members. They can claim that because anyone who has ever joined their Discord or signed up for their service is considered an active member even after trying to get out. I've heard that the number of actual active members is somewhere between 800 and 3,000, which is a big range, but no one knows for sure. Either way, it is a far cry from the 20,000 that they claim.
He's going to
People
get something
in
important
there
here.
use this number, this 20,000 active members figure, and all of your activity and donations to pitch their stuff to advertisers. And I'll talk a bit more about the advertisers and money aspect later, but there's still more to talk about right now. See, when you join Royale streamers, they ask for a lot of permissions on your Discord. This includes, most notably, other servers that you are in. See, what they do with this, they have a system that tracks their members and when their members join anyone that they deem to be a rival Discord. This could be people like MZ or Twitch Kittens or some other lurk for lurk groups that also encourage this behavior. And what they do is they'll use this to make decisions about what's going on. And if other servers get too big or they deem them too much of a threat, they'll retaliate against their own members. They do things like threaten bans or threaten to kick you out of the Royale streamers community or dock your points if they catch you chatting in other servers, and they will because they track in these Discords everything. Their bot goes through with Discord APIs and tracks every message in those Discords and scans them for certain key phrases and target phrases that lets them know when they're being talked about and when they're being disparaged and when their own members are chatting in other ones. And it's not only points. If they deem that you are talking bad about Royale streamers or spreading bad information about Royale streamers, they will have their community retaliate. Raker and Xavier will ask people to, in their community, their loyal people, go and like brigade you and fight for them and spread even false information. Like one member was accused of being an alcoholic, and they used that to try and make your testimony and the things you say about Royale streamers bad and discredit it.
I'm going to pause it there for a second. I want to first talk about the 20,000 active members versus the 800 to 3,000. That is capital F false advertisement.
It's a common thing now.
But
Yeah.
yes, but
Like,
if
it's not. That's like arguably the least shady thing they do because World of Warcraft is the same thing and has been doing it for 10 years. Minecraft is the same thing. You know, it's like it's one of those things where, like, I think Warcraft did it for ages, where they were like over 10 million active players. It wasn't. It was 10 million people who had bought the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't active players. It was people who had bought the game. You know, it's
there's like 10 million accounts have been created on the thing.
It's
yeah.
like, it's
you
like
know.
how some certain conventions will inflate their numbers.
Yeah.
Like we've had conventions in the past. Like so, I work for I volunteer for Comic Palooza, and we have definitely had like 40,000 people come through our convention. But there's different ways of counting. You can count turnstile, which is how many people come in and out of the convention per day, or there's actual ticket purchases. So that's kind of what they were doing. They were counting, you know, like how many people were just kind of coming in and out the door.
Right.
out of everything, this is the least shady thing that they do because it's a very common technique
Yeah,
so
it's a
far.
very common tactic.
But I
It's
just feel like if you're caught in it and you're using that number for, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like, I feel like, like if I was a
shady
company,
part of it,
I
really,
would
the shady part.
I would pull my support. Like if I found out if I was a big company and I was supporting, let's say I was supporting PAX South versus Rooster Teeth's big convention, right?
Yeah,
And
RTX.
I go with RTX because they have 500,000 people, right? They're gonna have 500,000 people here. I'm gonna go support them. Well, then when I get there and I found out that that's just how many people they've had in the entire existence of RTX, and really they only have 20,000. I'm pulling my support from them because I feel like I've been lied to, and maybe that's just my mentality going into this. But like you guys said, like everyone does it, but that's just from a consumer and a producer aspect. Like I'm not fucking with you anymore. Like I'm done. Like I'm pulling myself out.
I suppose that's kind of different because obviously it'd be like those 500 people they leave, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this, the whole thing, and that's where the shady shit comes in, is where they haven't left. They're still in their database.
Also,
Yeah.
They're still there.
to make the comparison with Warcraft, people have actually bought in Warcraft. Like that's not a lie per se. Like yeah, they don't have 10 million active people, but they've had 10 million
Yeah.
people buy the game, and more than
yeah.
likely they still get an account. They'll all end up coming back. Like it's a turn tile. Like I didn't play WoW for 4 years. I came back for WoW Classic, right? So the people are gonna come back and stuff like that. But with the Royale streamer thing is you don't even have that many people that currently claim to be a part of you. Like, there's at least 10 million people that have claimed they've played World of Warcraft. They've claimed their hands of you.
The issue with this is when you kind of read into it a bit more and the kind of consequences of that thing. As he mentioned, they use that 20,000 figure to go talk to advertisers. And he says he'll go back to it, which is fine. But you go into advertisers, that's what all of them do. They go to investors, they go to advertisers. That's just a common thing. People inflate their numbers all the time. Sports often do it as well. You often find sports will inflate the numbers ever so slightly. Or sometimes by quite a bit. A lot of places will claim they sold out when they're clearly fucking not. Or they will deliberately sell not enough tickets. Like, they'll deliberately sell less tickets to claim they got a sellout. But yeah, it's when you look at the advertisers and the idea of going to advertisers' investments, and then you kind of look at that and it's like, well, with this weird weighted system where all of that's being funded to the 1% because people are incentivized to go support the 1% and not the people at the bottom. And then when you consider that the people owning this are also getting a hefty fucking cut out of this.
Right.
I can't remember the exact number. It's in his, I believe it's in the second video. I recommend go watch that. He does talk about a cut. I'm not going to pull a number out of my ass because that wouldn't be correct. But yeah, it's
I don't know. Never stopped some major comic conventions before, so
yeah, right. It's when you get like a when you get into that territory and you're like, I see. So the guys up top, they can give preference to the people they like, and if they give preference to the people they like, they can go up in rank. If they go up in rank, people are more incentivized to go talk to them. If they like them or are like, hey, you should come support this dude, and like make up some bullshit excuse. Well, they're the ones the ads are going to. So it's kind of keeping it in that weird cycle. And I'm not saying this is what happens. I'm just saying this is a very real possibility.
Do you know
just
what
based off
do you
the
know what
system.
this reminds me of a little bit, or what it's giving me like flashbacks to?
The pyramid scheme.
Well, yes, but and more precisely, the Crankage Games issue. Do you remember when Crankage Games was coming up? Obviously, it was something more impacted me. My numbers were going up because Crankage Games, me and him got close. He was promoting me. He made me a mod in his Discord, made me a mod in his Discord, made me a mod in his stream. He was basically using me for money, on. But it was kind of the same deal. Like, he would promote the people that were like, hey, you're always here. You're always giving me money. You're always supporting me. You're shouting me out. You're my friend. I'm gonna help you out because you helped me out. It's really sounding a lot like that.
Yeah. Early in this video, he also mentioned the fact that people were working with them for like point salaries, right?
What
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck
illegal.
What can they, yeah, that's illegal.
Unless those people are considered volunteers, that shit's illegal.
Yeah, you can't pay people like that. Like most mods. Like, I didn't realize this. I didn't realize it got this legit. I apologize. I didn't make y'all sound shit. Y'all didn't make me sound shit either when y'all made me your mod. But like a lot of these bigger streamers, like when they do mods, like they have a form. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you have to be notified. I'm not paying for this. This is a volunteer promotion. Like I don't know for certain, but I heard Bloody Faster had one. I believe Shadow Fox. I've seen hers. I think because I was gonna be a mod for her at one time before I got too busy at work. So I think I've actually seen hers. And then there was someone else that I saw their form for. Alley Cat didn't have a form for me to sign when I became her mod, but a lot of these streamers like that are bigger, they have like a fucking form for you to sign that verifies, hey, you're not getting paid for this. This is a strictly volunteer thing. That way you can't come back on them at any time. And
some of them do have even a system where it's like, look, this is voluntary until I can pay you, and then I will.
yeah. Or it's
And
like,
some of
if anything, like Alley Cat is always shouting at her mods. So she's like, hey, go follow this person, go check them out, do this, that, and the other. So I guess that's kind of how she pays them. But again, it's not a form or anything like that. And she doesn't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to pay you in these, I'm going to pay you in Uwu bucks. I'm going to pay you in these things. Like, that's the
Pay you
the
in
line.
Fortnite skins.
Ah,
No,
okay.
it's it's an interesting one
Hey,
because
everybody gets V-Bucks
if
from now on.
if it's a point salary, like that's just gaming your own system.
Yeah.
And here's my big problem with this, because I have, more than anything, I have an issue with the point system over anything, because if you gamify engagement, people are going to learn how to fucking play the game.
Yeah, people are gonna eventually learn how
Yeah.
to beat it
Cheat,
and win.
They're gonna learn how to do it, and that is an engagement.
Yeah.
You know, that defeats the entire point of your system.
Yep.
Is when you're just incentivizing people to go do this to get them more points to get up a rank or something, and especially when they can like work for you and then get paid for working 30 to 40 hours a week in
Yep.
fucking points. That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
And then after that, he went on about how like they will send these people after you if you're in opposing discords. Like that's a threat. That's a threat. That's threatening. That's harassment. That is.
In some places, slander.
That's
like,
yeah.
mentioned alcohol.
That's what I was trying to find out. Slander. It's like
That's slander / libel, depending on how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's one
So.
thing if
defamation.
they
Yeah,
had
defamation's
come
the bull.
in, it's one thing if they had come in to the situation and like there had been a form like Eric talked about, like, hey, this is a volunteer position, we're gonna like pay you with these points until maybe someday we can really pay you, but for now this is how it is. Also, please sign this NDA
Yeah.
or a non-compete agreement rather,
Even then,
to where
don't pay them in
you-
points.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like don't pay them in points, but if they had included some sort of like non-compete agreement that like, hey, you know, once you join this, here's how the system works,
An
this is
exclusivity
what's
deal.
going on, and this is it's an exclusivity, non-compete. You can't join any other stream teams. Sorry, you made your choice.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of adverts that have that. Like, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
I believe G Fuel has one like that, where it's like, hey, you know, we'll support you, but you can't have advertise any other energy drink company or something like that. Like, I don't know if they do or not. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I'm sure a lot of them do.
Most
I've
brands
had
do that.
non-compete agreements. I've had to sign non-compete agreements like at previous jobs. So, and it's a thing. But like,
I've had to do that.
if
Like,
people
you
are
need
not,
agree.
yeah, like if people are not signing non-compete agreements,
Yeah.
they can go to wherever the fucking stream team they want, and you can't actually
You can't do
stop
shit
them.
because you're a community.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
stop them. You can't threaten them. You can't do anything.
But yeah,
tough
it's this
shit.
crazy thing with it, like, oh yeah, working 30 to 40 hour salaries, and yet before that, TroubleTruck was also like, oh yeah, they're going to advertise us, saying we got 20K community members, you know, advertise it. How about you use some of that advertising fucking money to pay the people who are working for you?
Exactly.
Yeah, where's all that advertising money going?
Yeah, and he explains that a bit more in the other video, but yeah, it's
Yeah. So let's
You know-
let him continue for a second.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop in servers that they learn about that their members join through those Discord permissions. This applies to everyone that they deem an enemy. SETI, Green Dumpling, check out
Who
your
I love, by the way.
Discord server list
Yeah,
and vet
I
your
love Green
members a
Dumpling.
little more closely. They are tracking everything that you say and do, both on Discord and Twitter, looking for information about Royale streamers. They're tracking me as well. Yesterday, I had a stream where I made a fake Discord account and went in and made junk information on an incognito browser just to check out the Royale Streamers server. And in the time that I was streaming, my fake name got changed to twitch.tv/TroubleTruck, even without me having linked anything to them. And this is possible, at least I think, because all of my stuff is being monitored for mentions of Royale streamers or for things like that. And so I think what's going on there is I am deemed an enemy of Royale streamers by what I say on Twitter, so all of my tweets are being tracked.
I will say this, Trouble. I don't know if you ended up watching this or not. I do want to make one comment on that. They probably were watching your stream.
Yeah, probably.
If you made that Discord on stream, I guarantee you, someone was watching your stream. If you are truly an enemy of Royale streamers, they were absolutely watching your stream, and that's how
did
they
he
saw
say
it.
when did he say he did this? Did he
I don't
mention-
remember. I don't remember when he said he did it, but I know he was streaming because he doesn't stream very often. I know he was streaming about a week or two ago, and I think it was like 5 or 6 days ago when he did this.
Yeah, I can't remember if he said yesterday or like a week ago. Or
He
something,
said
but-
before. He said a week ago. I think he said a week ago is when he did that.
Yeah,
and this video went up 2
yeah.
days ago. So, but I'm pretty sure someone was watching your stream and realized, okay, that's him.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and change it. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
they probably had a lot of people, but they figured it out. Like they were watching you, which is fucking creepy as shit to begin with. But continuing.
And
Who knows?
because
Maybe
of
someone's
that,
watching us
Raker
now.
was able to very quickly figure out that I was streaming and talking about Royale streamers,
Sure
come in
hope so.
and
No
check
way,
my
he just mentioned
information
that.
while I was live. I'm an enemy. I'm someone they have to keep tabs on, and they have to do what they can to try and paint me as a non-credible source. Also, I
That's
checked
actually
with the
exactly what I
Discord
just said,
front
so you
end
knew
to
that.
see if this was actually possible, and it totally is with the Discord API. If you want to prevent people from being able to do this, add a simple reaction role in one channel that gives you access to the rest of their Discord. It won't stop them all the time, but it can at least cut down on the ease of access to it. So the more those barriers you put up, the harder it is for them to get that information. So now I want to go back to the money aspect for a little bit, but to talk about that, I have to first explain what they call their Premier program. The Royale Streamers Premier program is essentially a hand-picked team of streamers that they deem to be their partners. It's essentially they've made their own partnership system inside Royale Streamers so that they can reward the people they like the most. For a recent advertising deal, they offered up to $50 each for each member from their Premier team that wanted to work with this promotion. They didn't get enough people through that, and so they started offering $10 each to other people in the community. So based on other people I've talked to and cross-checking some of the information I have, they gave out about $200 to $400 to streamers. The problem is,
This is-
they kept
okay,
around
this is where he
$2
talks about it.
themselves. The industry standard split when going with this stuff is 20% for companies like that for overhead, and if you're an agent, it can go up to 50%, but a $2,000 to $300 split in favor of the founders, the two founders, because remember, anybody else is just getting point salary. The 2,000 split to the two founders is wild. It's unheard of. But hey, they use that money for an open bar at their TwitchCon party, right? Oh wait, no, that's just advertising for themselves and makes them look better. That's not the same at all. But even then, when looking at those ad deals and taking a lot for themselves, the numbers don't quite add up. They got about 5 ad deals over the last year, and even if you assume they pocketed $2,000 from each deal, that's only $10,000 total divided by 2 people. And at least for Raker, this is a full-time job. It also means that there is some return here that he's not talking about, and the only way I can think of that makes sense is by selling data. And so with this bot that harvests all the data that they have about all of their members, it's most likely being sold to other people. The problem is I can't confirm
The
that
really illegal
because
bot.
this is smart.
Yeah.
They keep all
If
of
it
that
isn't
information at
disclosed.
the top. Raker and Xavier don't tell anybody about any of the monetary aspects of this. They keep all those numbers vague and only give out that information when absolutely necessary to as few people as possible to try to maintain that secrecy. So even if they aren't doing this, which I don't know how they wouldn't be, again, they aren't transparent about what's going on, so people really have no idea.
So I just want to make sure I'm following correctly, because I'm pretty sure you guys can probably summarize that a bit better. Raker is not, pun intended, raking in the money from these sponsorships. So if this truly is a full-time job for him, he's got to be making the money somewhere. So more than likely, he's selling the data of the Royale streamers.
Yeah.
It's either that or he isn't fully disclosing the amount
How much he's making
from the sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is also
Both of those are illegal as fuck.
very. And that one, the one of him just like not disclosing how much the sponsorships are actually for, is to me far more plausible than selling the data itself.
I'd say both are fairly plausible because everything sells data.
Yeah, I mean, like everything sells data nowadays, but honestly, for how he's set this up and how it seems that everything is being run, for someone to just go, oh yeah, we got this sponsorship deal, it's for $2,500 and we'll give you $300 and I'm going to keep $2,000, when really it's a $10,000 sponsorship and you're
getting royally fucked.
Again, just speculation.
Yes, all that is speculation.
Completely.
If anyone listening, that we don't have no idea if that's the case. But I mean, like
None of us have proof. That's speculative based off.
But unless Raker has a second job he's not telling anyone about, he's pretty much open that this is a full-time job for him at this point. Something's going on.
I'd love to hear from him about this. Like, what's really going on there?
I wish we could have got Trouble on this podcast, because that would have been even better. I might reach out to him about possible being on here for next week to maybe do like a follow-up on this and just talk to him in general.
We do have a we also do have a statement by Royale streamers. We'll probably read that after the video, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Kind of balance it out a bit.
Yeah. So let's finish this up.
And the system designed to get money and attention for people at the top is something that's been around for a while. Here's some paraphrased things that I have seen from Raker. We could use this ability to subtly highlight ourselves. One way we can do that is to have everyone go into our channels first and then raid everyone from there. Basically, we can reward people for kissing our asses. He also says things like, I don't care if people are view-botting all of our members. That's good for us. Advertisers and other potential members
Important to say,
think our system's
paraphrased.
so that is an admission of their numbers being inflated, and maybe by viewbots or embeds, or numbers inflated by the fact that their stat bot tracks people that have asked it not to. All of that helps them. All of that makes more money for them, and they've made no effort to hide basically the fraud of those numbers that they are sending to advertisers. And the part that really drives all this home to me is just how scared the members were that came to me. Everyone that came up to me had a very real fear of being retaliated against, both by the members of this community and perhaps by other means that they won't even know, because Raker has a ton of power, as you can see here. He monitors information and logs and chats from every single member. He has all of this information and all of this data and can spy on you, basically, and that is a terrifying thought. And this retaliation can extend to other things as well. For example, in the past, they have threatened another large community with a lawsuit for speaking out against them. And again, I cannot overstate just how terrified people were to come talk to me. It's genuinely worrying, and because of their tone, I'm slightly afraid about retaliation myself, but this is something that people need to know about. And I know that all these facts can't necessarily be confirmed because the two people at the top are holding all this information to themselves. So, hey, if they want to release any kind of proof or any kind of facts that'll say, hey, we aren't doing this, here's how, that would be great. I would love to see that, but until then, this is the word I got. And I can't share any screenshots that I've seen and that people have sent me because they would be very easily identified based on what I have. But I have given out this information to other people in the community that I trust not to leak it, who can verify that they've also seen it. I'm not going to give up a source, and that's just the way it's going to be. So they're doing some weird stuff. More people need to know about it, and I hope that this gets out there to the people that it needs to show exactly what's going on.
There we
Okay,
go.
so that's his video. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to tab back onto here, so that I can put back my fireplace. Farewell.
Every single successful
shit.
full-time career content creator, and this
Hold
isn't
on.
just streamers,
Oh,
it
God.
applies to artists,
Oh,
musicians,
God.
YouTubers.
Oh God. Okay. All right. I saved the day. Everyone
Crisis
relax. Oh God. Everyone heard something that wasn't supposed to be heard. It's all right. But anyway, I'm turning down the desktop volume back again a little bit here because now we're done with that. I'm turning you guys back up on Discord because we're done with that. All right. So basically, in short, really fucking sketchy shit. Here's my final thought on all this. If all of this stuff that is clearly illegal is clearly out there for anyone to see, how come Twitch can't do anything? Everyone knows who's involved. They know some shady shit is going down. Isn't there like some sort of legal act? It's not like we're trying to find, I'm probably going to get fucking chastised for this, but it's not like we're trying to find Osama bin Laden over there who's hiding, right? Like, we know who it is. It is plain as day. He's come forward. He's done interviews. Like, as we were talking about, TroubleTruck's follow-up video is actually a reaction video of him reacting to their follow-up video. Like, we know who it is. Like, it's not like this shit's hidden somewhere. Why can't something be done? How does Raker still have a Twitch channel?
The thing with media and legality in general is that it's hard to, especially in a digital medium, it's a lot harder to just crack on with things. Because, first of all, if you look at that, it's like the legality is certainly a grey area. Like, especially when it comes to the privacy and stuff like that. And even like not even the privacy, the data in general. Because here's the thing, you can talk about how we're only using public data. That doesn't fucking matter, right? It's data in general. Public data, private data, it's all the same under the law. It's all data that you need to be informed about. That is the law.
But here's my thing though here. So Twitch support, like the link you shared here in our Discord here.
Yes.
A reminder, fake engagement such as view botting or follow for follow and lurk for lurk groups is against our rules. Participating in or organizing these activities may lead to the suspension of your Twitch account. Right there, you're admitting that, hey, if we think you're doing it, we will suspend your account. So it has been proven that he's doing it. So how the fuck does he still have a Twitch up?
The issues when it comes to that is that they kind of need that full confirmation. They need a reason to take action.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have a reason to take action, this is the same in law in general. If you don't have a reason to take action against something, that's how you get taken to court.
Yeah.
That's how so many fucking criminals in the past have been let out, is
Up
because
until-
they didn't take the right steps. And whilst I could certainly see an argument being made for them to take action, it's they might be like, we need to make sure, we need to make damn sure that we can do this.
Like, up until this point, it was obviously assumed that they were doing something like that, like a lurk for lurk, follow for follow kind of community. I think it was assumed because there's so many of these communities out there. But until they actually have a justifiable reason and actual like public evidence of it happening, there's not a whole lot they can do. Aside from just going, hey guys, here's our TOS, don't break it.
By the way, I read the TOS. That TOS didn't show anything. Like Twitch's TOS is I actually read the Royale streamer's TOS. It doesn't really say much, to be honest. It doesn't mention.
As I would expect.
It doesn't mention the data at all from when I read it earlier. So make it that way you will. But yeah, it's a weird scenario where Twitch and Amazon are probably like, if we're going to take action against this, we have to take action against the company and not the people, because it's a lot easier to prove that the company is encouraging things than it is the people directly benefiting from that,
Yeah.
like you could get a list of all the people involved and be like, this is clearly like this person has gone through here, they're active on here, you know what I mean? But like obviously they don't know who's active in Royale streamers and when, so they could go to a channel and be like, right, you've got a lot of fake engagement, and then the people in chat could easily just be like, no, we don't do it through the servers, we came across them and then we just watch them normally.
Yeah.
They could easily say that, and Twitch have no way to go, you're fucking lying, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Twitch just has to take that at face value.
Yeah, until they can prove otherwise.
Yeah.
It's
It's a frustrating gray area. But
it's a very frustrating gray area. It's like, and clearly they're taking steps to try and crack down on it a bit more, especially now that this has been made public and a bit more interesting.
And I think now, thanks to TroubleTruck's expose, I think on top of them cracking down on their TOS in general, I think something will be done about the whole situation from like Amazon Twitch's side of things. But obviously it's not going to be an instant thing.
Yeah.
And it may not be exactly what everybody's hoping.
I wouldn't expect to see anything change in the next couple of months.
Yeah, no.
I'd expect maybe Royale streamers to counteract it and take a step back, maybe, and kind of alter things so they look a bit nicer, a bit of a PR spin. Mm-hmm. And I expect Amazon to kind of sit there and just watch them like a hawk.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't expect much movement. I'm curious to see how Discord react to this as well. Because obviously that Discord bot is a very interesting thing. Mm-hmm. So I'd be curious to see what they make of all this. Yeah. If anything else, we do have the statement by Royale streamers. It's
yes. Would you like me to read? Would you like me to read it?
Yes.
Hang on. Actually, here. Let me. I'm gonna save the image real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the image onto the stream here. So anyone that's watching the VOD or the image on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. Obviously, people who are listening to this. You won't be able to see this, but I'm going to obviously read it for you.
For those watching the Twitch VOD and want a better view, I've linked it in chat as well. So if you look at the chat replay, it will be in there.
Yes. So, oh god, I don't even know if that's even eligible. I'm not even sure if people can even read that shit, even if they wanted to. That picture did not save properly at fucking all.
that didn't save great.
Well, actually, hold on. I can zoom it in really well, and I'll okay. If I zoom it in really well, you guys can see it. It's just gonna cover our face for a second, and I'll grab and roll it up as I read, so you guys can follow along. Yeah, so you guys can follow along while I go. All right. In the past couple, now I want to make this statement here. I just looked it up. This statement was made back in May.
It was, actually.
This was made back in May. This has been something that's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things they mention here was mentioned in TroubleTruck's expose, if you will. So this is just something that's been talked about for a while, and it's finally starting to get noticed. So
for those kind of watching this one now, it should be interesting. Keep in mind the recent stuff, and then read what they've said here. Kind of compare it. We did a similar thing with Riot Games and Blizzard on the podcast on Thursday. So
in the past couple of days, there have been some statements made about Royale streamers that we feel should be addressed. Keep this in mind. So Twitch disapproves of Royale, and you won't get partnered. That is something that people were saying back in May. Let us begin by first addressing the concern about our relationship with Twitch. We were fortunate to be discovered early on by Twitch developers and establish a relationship with them. The way our system works is well understood by them and has even been spoken highly of as an impressive usage of data that is available from their platform. In our last weekly AMA, we were honored to have one of their staff on as a guest. While we do not see Royale's purpose as a place for streamers to achieve partnership, this statement is very easily disputed by the dozens of very high-quality streamers that have achieved partnership during their time here. Now, I would like to say something first, and the fact that the Twitch staff, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, is probably not the best way of going, that's, I hope this doesn't take one away, but that's the equivalent of saying, I'm not racist, I have a black best friend.
The interesting thing about this is like the way our system works is well understood by them. Now, That doesn't say that they like it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's even
Sure.
been spoken highly of as an impressive usage of data. Doesn't mean it's been spoken highly of as a good thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's the
and it
fact
says
that it's
like
an impressive usage of data that they
And,
have.
and it can easily
available.
be twisted as, oh, hey, we realize you guys can find some crazy shit. We got to hammer down on our security
Yeah.
features. Like,
You could easily read this as it's like, wow, Twitch really appreciates this community. What a welcoming place that I want to be part of. But you could also read it as, yeah, you guys have really kind of worked this into a corner here. You've done some impressive stuff, and they're like, oh, we even had a member of staff on as a guest. That really doesn't mean anything.
well, and it's still a very vague
Yes.
PR spin on a statement because it
Mhm.
says impressive usage of data that is available from their platform.
Exactly. Doesn't say.
So that just covers that, but that doesn't cover the other data that they are clearly stealing
Yes.
from other places.
Yes, and more importantly than that, it also doesn't go into the fact that they are breaking TOS in other ways.
Yep.
The interesting thing was like, why would you not see Royale's purpose as a place for streamers to achieve partnership? This statement is rarely easily disputed for dozens of high-quality streamers that have achieved partnership during the time here. If you don't see it as a purpose for a place to achieve partnership, or even affiliate for that matter, then what the fuck is it for?
Yeah. Then what are
You've said your own words about this platform is, this is a place for people to grow and encourage engagement in streams. Now, to me, especially when you have a fucking game point system, and please get in touch, correct me if I'm wrong, surely the end goal of that for those using it is to get partnership or even affiliate. And the goal for you, as the people running the service, would be for them to get partnership or even affiliate because that's better for you.
Yeah.
Now, something doesn't quite add up there for me, honestly. So what's going on there? You know, like, especially when you immediately after went, well, it's not a place for streamers to achieve partnership, but look at all these people who have gone and achieved partnership.
Look at all these partners we have. What am I
Look at
supposed
all
to do
these
with
people
these
who have achieved.
partners?
Look at all these people who have achieved partnership through us. So you're saying they used it to achieve partnership? So it is then. It's the purpose of this place for those streamers
Weird.
was to achieve partnership. That's an immediate contradiction in your own fucking statement.
Yeah.
Like, that entire first section. Now, for those who don't know, I'm trained in PR. My degree is in journalism. I'm trained in PR. I've worked in PR. This is my area. That entire first statement is the most PR bollocks I've ever read.
absolutely.
And that's
It really is.
they say nothing in that first statement. It was like they have the quote, Twitch disapproves of Royale and you won't get partnered. Now, they answered the partnered part by going, oh yeah, you know, it's like a bunch of high quality streamers have achieved partnership.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can fucking do that
As
anywhere.
As we've discussed, it's very hard to disprove that those streamers who got partnership aren't breaking TOS. It's very hard for them. So odds are they got partnered because Twitch doesn't know or didn't know at the time, you know? And more importantly, on top of that, you don't mention, like, you're like, oh yeah, they don't. It says they disprove of Royale, but you don't answer that part at
Yeah.
all.
Nope.
You just say, oh, we were discovered early on and they spoke highly of how we could collect data. You're speaking to a developer. A developer's probably like, whoa, that's fucking impressive, mate.
Yeah.
Go speak to a fucking, like an actual Twitch staff member, then get a quote from him maybe, talking about the statement. Like, get a quote from a person, name that person, be like, yeah, no, this is perfectly in line. That's how you answer that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely
So,
talk to somebody at Twitch that, you know, might have an issue with you the way you're using the information that you're taking that's readily available from their platform. But you might have an issue with the way you're using it.
yes.
I would-
For anyone just joining, we're currently breaking down the concluding statement from Royal Streamers that they posted back in May.
This is from the last.
Yeah, this is from the last debacle, and we're comparing it to what's been announced lately or what's been
Yes.
talked about recently.
And seeing how it lines up.
Yes. So we're going to continue here. Royale, the next point that they tried to fight was Royale is a scam. That was what people were saying at the time. What they said was, again, reading this for the people listening on Spotify and other streaming services. To put things in perspective, our community is free to join and leave. There are no perks that can be purchased in any way. Everything that we are built on is based on time spent supporting others. There are many communities on Twitch which are, for lack of better terms, pay for play, places where you can buy status exposure through Patreon, others where it's encouraged to subscribe or donate to the owner's channels in order to gain perks within the community. Royale is the antithesis to this community model, and it acted as one of the primary principles upon which Royale was founded, which are stated very clearly upon entering the Discord since its
Very
creation.
clearing.
We have
It's always
built
good when
this-
a PR statement has a mistake, by the way.
Absolutely fantastic. No proofreading whatsoever.
Yep.
We have built a system that is free from the typical favoritism that you'd find in streamer communities. The rules of the game are known to all, and all rewards are distributed according to an algorithm, not the whims of a founder. That last part there has been proven false since this document was made in May.
I take you back to TroubleTruck's video that we just watched, where he literally paraphrased Raker and said, hang on, just need the full screen this here because Discord. We could use this ability to subtly highlight ourselves. One way is to have everyone go to our channels and then raid others from there. We can reward people for kissing our asses.
Kissing our asses.
Now, and I mean, he even mentions the fact that there was reports of favoritism and people giving extra points to people they know or people they're friends with. That's been reported on by the sources that TroubleTruck had. So that's literally a false statement. Granted, it might have not been a false statement in May. We don't know. But it certainly hasn't held up very well.
No, it hasn't held up at all.
No, it really isn't.
And then going back there, it's again, they don't really answer anything in this.
Nothing.
They're saying this one's a pay for play, which, granted, those communities are terrible. And they did a very interesting thing where they were like, "Well, we don't do that." It's like Royale is the antithesis to this community model. Instead of having it so you pay real money, you have to earn up fake currency by supporting the top end of the food chain. Again. That's just from all the information I've seen.
Yep. And that's
that's my informed opinion on the matter right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue reading here. This is the other one that they said that the third statement that they tried to fight. This again was back in May. Once you leave, you no longer receive support. A number of people over the past couple of days have been claiming that once you leave Royale, you will no longer receive support from the community. This is heavily dependent on the amount of networking that the departing member has engaged in and the relationships that they made. As long as that person continues to support others within Royale or outside, they will receive support back. Various members have joined and left due to life events, and we welcome them back each time. Now, this is something that I will say that I agree with them on. They are 100% right there. They are 100% right there in the fact that who you support doesn't matter. Like, I will say that there are a lot of lurk for alert groups that will not support you afterwards.
We've seen them.
Right, we've seen them firsthand. Like
we've all done, and whilst not a Twitch group, we've all worked in a YouTube group.
Yes,
we've seen that exact behavior.
Absolutely, you know? where a lot of people from that group, once we kind of distance ourselves from it, that group stopped showing up. Now, I will say that I've been in other groups. You know, on the flip side, I've been in other groups where the people, they still support me. Like, I hang out with Joy all the time. I still talk to Briar, Vash. I'm watching their streams. They pop in mine sometimes. Like,
I mean, literally the three of us.
Yeah, so. The three of us. The three of us were started there. Like, there's still, like, obviously, like, the support, like, it's given and given depending on, like, the creator, the networking you've done. That is true. I agree with his statement there. However, he does say something here. I want to try to find the part. Saying the statement here, as long as that person continues to support others, they will receive support back. That is a very risky statement to say in general. That is not always true, and I believe it is a very unhealthy thing to tell somebody that, oh, if you support somebody, they're going to support you, because that's not the way it's going to work.
And also, more importantly of that, they fail to mention and neglect to mention the fact that the bot still tracks them. But
that's the other thing. But again, this was back in May when that information
no
was not
confirmation that
found.
that's a real thing back
Yeah.
then, but it is now. We
It
have
is now.
evidence of it.
Now we know that bot is still tracking people afterwards.
Yeah.
We're going to continue reading on. Leppely, did you have anything to say on that?
No, that's all pretty much it. Like they.
Okay.
That's the good part of this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are still 2 more statements for us to get through. Let us continue.
Technically 3.
Yeah, technically 3 because of the bottom one there. Yeah. Royale is fraudulent, artificial, a pyramid scheme. Oh boy, this is. We basically spent the last hour and 39 minutes talking about how they were a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
All right, so as mentioned in TroubleTruck's video,
Allegedly,
Royale is comprised of 20,000 very real human streamers that all share a common goal and dream. The support that is shown for our members is by a person sitting behind the computer. Sorry, hold on. I messed my thing. There he is. Person sitting behind a computer that chose to open your stream. The people communicating in your chats are your fellow members. While some of us may be bots on Fortnite, none of us are on Twitch. The defining characteristic of a pyramid scheme is one where it's impossible to surpass the person that invited you, because they continually reap rewards for the work that you do. Nothing like this exists in Royale. That is a complete and total lie. First off, as
their point system is literally weighted like this. It's a pyramid, except it's like a reverse pyramid where you get the lesser number is at the bottom, but you get more
at the bottom. Yeah, the smaller points are at the bottom, and so it's just an upside down pyramid.
Yeah,
exactly. And the crazy thing about all of this for me is, as we've already stated in the earlier, some of you guys that are new might have missed this. TroubleTruck has already basically proven that they don't have 20,000 active members right now. Again, this was back in May. Now it's almost end of October, but still, they count their members, and they've admitted to this recently that they count their members for people that have ever entered the Discord or the community ever. Similar to, as we mentioned, flubbing numbers such as that, which happens all the time. But basically, they only have about 800 to 3,000 active members. It's a wide range, but it is still an inaccurate measure as to how many are active right now. It is not 20,000. So we've proven that part is not entirely true. No. The other issue here is nice job trying to throw in humor here by saying some of us may be bots in Fortnite, none of us are on Twitch. The fact of the matter is you are using a bot to track information. Again, that part has been proven. So you lied back in May.
There's another interesting thing here as well. So it says very real human streamers that all share a common goal and dream. Now, I'm just going to ask you guys here. What is your goal with Twitch?
Well, my goal is to entertain as many people as I possibly can.
But would you say that you would also like to do this
as a full-time job? 100%.
To make money.
Potentially get partnership, if you will.
Absolutely. Again, I want to reach as many as I can.
According to the start of this statement, they don't see the purpose of the place for streamers to achieve partnership. Now, if they all have a common goal, I believe the common goal of every streamer, and people can deny this as much as they fucking want. Everyone wants to make money doing
Absolutely. I believe I said it on Twitter yesterday. I was like, you cannot sit here and tell me that you are a streamer and don't have some type of ego, don't have some type of...
Everyone wants to do it. So, but they're like, oh, they all have a common goal and dream. But we're not for that.
We're not for it. We just all dream about it.
They've done it here, but we're not for that.
Yeah, we're not for it. They do it here. We're a support group, but we don't want to support.
We would never. They've done it, but we would never. But they all have the common goal, and we support.
Where are my pearls for clutching?
How bastardly of you to assume that we would do something like this.
I don't know why there's something hilarious about them being like 20,000 very real.
Where is it?
Very real.
Very
humans.
Very real. Hey, I want to try to zoom in more.
I am human streamer.
Oh my god! Just I am real.
And then at the end being like, well, some of us may be bots on Fortnite, none of us on Twitch. And it was like, the fact that you had to specify that they are very real.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And they have a dream, damn it, but we would never.
Oh god.
But they have.
They have a dream. 100%. But we would never.
No.
We,
never.
we on a way of realizing that dream, but people
Yes.
have using us.
100%.
We're not.
Can
we're
I
not
just
that.
can I just say this is like the realest we've gotten on this podcast. We have to do more of these, by the way, because this is so much fun.
You're seeing me in full PR analysis mode right now, where I'm breaking down everything. This is why I found it so annoying to do weekend reviews, because I would sit there and be like, a Weekend Review, by the way, was a show that
We did with Matt. Yes.
Yeah, host with Matt, who runs a YouTube community that we've all come from. But and you also still host a variant of it occasionally.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the same. It's rebranded. But basically, what you're seeing now, where I'm literally critiquing every sentence and reading into it and being like, yeah, that's probably not right. That doesn't sound good. That's what I was like every weekend.
Yes.
I'd sit there and be like, this is a disaster. But yeah, there's a PR statement, and look, it's called public relations for a reason. It's to make yourself look good. You know, it's the way you relate to the public, and they're doing this and being like, well, we are a very upstanding company. But when you read what they're saying, they're actually not really saying anything.
They're not saying anything. It's like they're rehashing and repeating and trying to make shit. It's like they're trying to kill people with humor almost in some of these statements.
And there is another statement we have which arguably does a worse job, arguably. But when you look at something like this, and it's like, well, you know, some communities, they're pay for play, but we're not that. We're the antithesis of that. You know, they're not addressing the issue of themselves. They're just being like, well, look at these other people.
Look at these other people. Look what they're doing. It's like they're deflecting. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they're literally deflecting.
Yeah.
We have the final one here.
Yes.
You won't get sponsorships if you want a Royale.
Yes. So, we have worked with developers in the past and are continuing to do so at an increasing rate. At the time of this announcement, there is an ongoing promotion with a game developer. Royale is very transparent with potential sponsors and presents in-depth statistics that are publicly accessible through the Twitch API to be verified.
I'd like to see that. If anyone here knows where to find that, I'd like to see that, because we discussed some of the things with the sponsorships. So I'd like to see how open and in-depth they actually are.
100%.
So here's the weird thing with this. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's like, you won't get sponsorships. And it's like, you do kind of get sponsorships, but at the same time, it's not you getting sponsorships, it's the team getting sponsorships. It's kind of being funneled down to you. So technically, you're not getting sponsorships.
Exactly. And that was something that TroubleTruck mentioned in his video that we looked at earlier,
the team you represent you might get like a trickle.
Because for people that are just joining now that might have missed the video we broke down earlier at the beginning of the stream, I highly recommend checking out the VOD and hitting like the midpoint of this stream to check out exactly what we're talking about there. But TroubleTruck went in depth about how they were getting the exact number that the two people that are in charge of Royale streamers were making off of these sponsorships was ludicrously higher than what they were giving the streamers that were helping them get the money. Anywhere from $10,000 with going to the top versus...
That's over all of the...
yes.
All of the things. I believe the numbers he used was like a 2,000 one, and then they would dish out like 200 or 300 to the community.
Yeah, they would just dribble out a couple of them, people like that. It's a ridiculous number. But yeah, to say that it's just like, again, I don't even know, man. I don't even know where to go with this statement. This has basically been disproven with recent information that's come out.
Yes,
that's kind of what we can say there.
We also have obviously
the closing statement here. While these claims stated as fact about Royale are certainly outlandish to a degree, we understand their source. Royale is the first system of its kind, and it turns the traditional streamer community model of supporting others on its head.
I don't like how supporting others is in quotes though.
I don't. Yeah, that one really stands out.
That seems really weird. The fact that when you haven't done that for anything else, I don't think.
Yeah. By making individuals accountable for the support they say they are giving others that are trying to achieve their dreams. Now, look, I kind of get where they're coming from. I kind of get where they're attacking here. They are attacking in a direct way. The communities that are like, oh yeah, like sort of like the Crankage Games community that I was a victim of. where people would like, oh, I'll support you just because you're friends with Crankage, and Crankage told me to come check you out, so I'm gonna follow you. They don't fucking ever show up. It was a fake support. Like, I had people when I was trying to get affiliate first start that would watch me for like a little bit to help boost my number, and then they disappeared once I hit affiliate.
We literally saw this with, again, YouTube, not Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
But we
yeah.
literally saw the same thing where we'd do these
Yeah.
streams and be like, wow, awesome stuff, dude. I'll go subscribe to your channel.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean,
let's
how
go
many?
back.
Yeah. You like the subscribe for subscribe shit that was going on, and like the viewers, and they would just
Yeah.
watch people on repeat and stuff like that. We saw it really bad with YouTube.
I will say we didn't
No, we never participated in that.
didn't condone
No.
that.
No.
But we'd see people being like, yeah, I'm going to support you. They'd
Which is-
subscribe,
which
and
is-
then
which is
you'd go back
probably-
and the views don't change.
Which, let's be honest, would probably be why none of us were successful.
I'm pretty sure there's other reasons, but
Well, yeah, but we kept our integrity a little bit too much. I think maybe we should have. Oh god.
there's a very interesting thing, especially going back to that supporting others in quotes. It's nothing really, but when the last time you used quotes in the statement is in a context of reluctance because you pre-emphasize it with, for lack of a better term, pay for play, and then it's like you could easily read this in terms of traditional streamer community model of supporting others on its head. You know, it can change the way, especially with the last time you've seen something like that, stands out a little bit. And also it says, and by making individuals in brackets in bold accountable when that. Don't know why accountable is in bold.
But
when
again,
individual
do they really?
Accountable.
Because I mean, think about it. They're the whole point of being in Royale streamers is to get these points, right? That's what we've established through the previous mentioned parts. But you're prioritizing the bigger streamers to give them more points in doing so, and then at the same time, you're going to sit here and say, "Oh, people are there. The individuals are accountable," but you're not rewarding them for that. You're rewarding them for going to the bigger guys. So you're not even.
I wouldn't even say it's them.
But again,
being like, you should go see the bigger guys.
But-
It's their entire system that they've built, which is inherently designed.
Here's my big thing. You're sitting there and attacking these other support groups, but you shouldn't. Okay, this is my personal opinion. You should not expect a reward for supporting somebody else at any given time. That's a very toxic behavior that you're promoting here, and then you're going to sit there and try to flip it and say that you are the right one and you're the one flipping it on its head and you're the model that everyone should be following. You're the one damaging Twitch as a whole. You're the one that is damaging the integrity of the site, and that's
We would never.
We would never.
We would
No.
never.
No.
They go a bit Disney at the end as well by saying achieve their dream again. Again, they don't specify what that dream is because they don't see partnership as a dream.
No.
Yeah, apparently it's not. Duh.
I don't know, man. This is like the longest podcast we've done because we've just gone ham on this shit.
I still can't get over the fact that accountable is in bold and not individuals.
I don't know.
Individuals should be the word in bold there, not accountable. By making individuals accountable.
Vivid, I'm gonna DM them and I'm gonna just give them your Twitch just to look, if y'all guys ever want to make another stupid ass statement again, can y'all just have this man proofread it?
If you want to make a statement that says nothing.
Oh god, that's just anyway.
Sorry, final thing. They don't even say who that fucking quote's from.
Huh?
Who said the quote halfway up the thing?
What? Oh
The
yeah.
one in gold. Who the fuck said that?
Oh yeah.
Did Raker say that?
Were they trying to just hammer that point home? Maybe.
Think
Is that a quote from their thing? We need to know where that's from, people.
that must be. I wonder if that's from their Discord because that's what
I don't
they're
know.
talking about. Because they say
It's either from the Discord or it's this is the quote. This is the part
so
we want to
weird.
really hammer home. I think that's what they were
'Cause it
trying to say.
says,
but-
like-
Yeah, it might be from the Discord. Even
Maybe
then,
that's
it's
maybe that's
very,
from their
very
from their info panel on their Discord or something. I'm not joining that Discord to find out because if we do that, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
So.
It
it
alludes
alludes to that because it
Discord?
says they're the antithesis to this community model and acted as one of the primary principles upon which Royale was founded, which are stated very clearing
Yeah,
upon
clearing.
entering the
Yeah.
Discord since its creation. ...
I think
Quote.
yeah, that seems to be what it is. However, again, it's because they didn't stop and they just carried on.
But still, fucking cite your quotes, you
Yeah,
dicks.
cite the quote. Just say information page Discord, or like you could have just said which is like stated very clearly upon entering our Discord
Yeah,
in our information tab.
Mhm.
Quote.
cite your shit.
Yeah, cite your shit, because otherwise you just have a quote there. That's like me doing a PR statement for Vivichim and then like chuck it in the middle of it. I don't know, just some review I found for a pair of headphones on eBay or something,
Exactly.
and then just being like, and taking it and reusing it.
Yeah. Anyway,
dear.
we have gone on for a very, very long time.
How long has this one been?
We are live for 1 hour and 54 minutes and 45 seconds. It has definitely been our longest podcast, and it is going to take forever for me to get this shit to upload. But yeah, it is 12:30 for me. It is late for me, so I know for a damn fact it is late for the two of you. Vivid, I'm shocked the sun hasn't gone up where you're at.
Oh man, we're getting into winter now. It doesn't come up until late now.
That's a very good point. Yeah, you'll never see the sun again.
No.
Anyway, thank everyone for coming in. I've noticed, I do keep an eye on the viewer count. I noticed that it went up towards the end. So I know a lot of you guys that joined at the end probably didn't catch the breakdown of TroubleTruck's video. I highly recommend watching both of the videos that he posted on them. You can find him on Twitter.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Both of the videos are very good.
Yes,
I
both
don't
of
know
them are very
if he's
good.
I don't know if he's trained in any way, but he's good.
Very
He's good at what he's
articulate.
doing, yeah.
Again, this video, obviously the VOD is available. I am going to have this uploaded to YouTube hopefully by next Saturday. I'm also going to try to get the previous podcast and this podcast up on different podcast streaming sites, similar to what Vivid does with his Thursday night podcasts, which again you guys should probably check out. All right, so go ahead and pimp out your week, friends. I am going to grab my phone really quickly because I just got a text message on my watch. Which, by the way, I got the new Galaxy Watch. It is fantastic. But
I've been meaning to get one of those.
I have text messages, and I believe they are supposedly about my
I wonder
schedule.
if there's a skin for the Galaxy Watch that makes it look like the watch from GoldenEye.
I have no idea. But apparently we got our schedule. So while you guys are pimping out what you guys are going to be doing this week, I'm going to go ahead and check my schedule so I can tell you what I'm doing.
Well,
You want to go first?
sure. I'm not up to much. I've got regular Monday Night Bar tomorrow night at what time do I do that? 8 p.m. Central,
Something like that.
something like that. If I'm
Yeah,
lucky,
you start quite late for me. That's all I know.
I do. Yeah, I don't get home from volunteering till like 7:30 or a little bit after, so I typically don't start streaming until 8. So I've got that going on Monday, and then that's about it for internet stuff. I'm
You
going
can see
camping.
more.
I'm going camping at Renfest next weekend, so that's kind of all I have
Oh shit,
planned.
that sounds pretty cool though. To be fair, you can see some amazing gradient images of Lep on.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Gradient's that app that's currently trending
Yeah,
that makes it
that
that,
app,
like, who do you
it's-
look like. It's really fucking terrible. It's a terrible app. It doesn't work.
Horrible, and it's
doesn't work.
good for a laugh.
Oh yeah,
so-
yeah, good for a lap.
good for a lap too, I'm sure. But
Like
yeah, go
I
follow
posted
me
a
on
picture
Twitter.
of my dog on there, and it said he looked like an old Asian man. So make it that way you will. But yeah, go follow Lep and see some of those, because
Yeah,
some of
go
those
follow
are.
me on Twitter. Twitter. What am I? Leppely Plus on
I believe
Twitter.
I think you're Leppely Plus on Twitter. Yeah.
Leppely on Twitch. Leppely Plus on Twitter. Leppely Plus on YouTube. But I don't really upload anymore a whole lot of stuff. So that's it. How about
Go
you,
do those
Vivid?
things. So we got a How Back Can It Be review coming out Tuesday for
Yay!
patrons and Wednesday for non-patrons. This week we're doing Thief Simulator.
All right.
So if it's anything like the rest of the simulator games I've played in my time that aren't Goat Simulator, it's going to be a weird one.
That's
Other than that, we got the
Good.
podcast on Thursday. We got the podcast upload onto Spotify and stuff on Friday. Um, not this week, but next week. So I'll probably shill this more next Sunday. I've got a 24-hour charity live stream going up, so please follow my Twitch for that or my Twitter. Follow both; they're both Vivid Gym. It's a good place to find out about that. We recently organized our goals for that. I think I sent that to you, Lab. Did I send that to you? I think I might have. I think I sent it in the chat.
Yes.
It's in
Yeah,
my
you did.
Discord anyway. But yeah, I'll be putting that on Twitter after the stream probably. We have a bunch of forfeits ready to do on stream, including the likes of putting on a wig, mustache, and sunglasses, as well as doing a dramatic reading of the Shrek script, the entire Shrek 1 script, live on air. We're playing 24 games in 24 hours to raise money for Macmillan Cancer Support as part of the Game Heroes campaign. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, other than that, if you want to torture me, that's a good thing to do. If you've seen my stuff before and are familiar with it, for $1 and up patrons, you can vote on what games I review in the future. I've organized and listed a lot of polls. Not all of them are going to be nice for me, so some of them are going to be really, really fucking painful. But yeah, other than that, it's mostly I'll probably do a couple of streams, play a few video games for the show, but it's going to be a lot of prep for the upcoming marathon. Eric, I see you're back. What have you got coming up?
Well,
Back.
What does your work allow?
well, this schedule sucks. I feel like y'all could have predicted that was coming. All right, so tomorrow I am run 1 all day, as I expected. So that means I won't be home. I'll be the first to leave tomorrow night. Is basically what that means, which means I can definitely stream tomorrow night. I'm off Wednesday this week for some dumb fucking reason, but that's cool. So we can do our weekly collaboration on Wednesday night if you're both available.
I should be.
I am call runner on Tuesday night, and we have 2 people that are both call run 1, which means basically one of us has to come in when it hits 41. I'm gonna DM the other runner to see if she'll take the run shift, and that way I can basically be off Tuesday night, so we can plan something tentatively together for Tuesday night perhaps. But Wednesday night we can definitely do something. But regardless, I'll be live basically every day this week. Thursday is busy Thursday night, but it is not busy to the point where I'm in yet. I'm actually on call Thursday night, so there is a chance that we'll actually have an additional stream because I'm off Saturday morning, so I'll probably be live Saturday morning. And of course,
to anyone watching right now who hasn't seen our co-op streams on Wednesdays,
you should definitely check them out because they are probably the best streams that you'll see on this channel or any of our channels.
It's a lot of memes.
Yes, we have to do them on times that I'm off because we get loud and I don't want to piss off my roommates. What should we play this week? Should we hit up Yemi since we know in advance that it's Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Leppely,
guys
Leppely wasn't with us for Civ 5 last time. We're gonna have to start a new map. We're gonna have to do a new game.
But you also forget that Wednesdays is dependent on if Matt and I do a show.
Oh.
Well, an early start on Wednesdays is dependent on that, but
Yeah, we could always pick up after you
time.
guys are done. Are you really gonna pass up on a collab with us?
Well,
or
'cause,
Matt?
we've been starting when we do shows at 7 my time, and the last few that we did have gone really long. They've been 2 hours.
That's because Matt talks a lot.
Are
Yeah, he
you?
does.
My face is gonna look weird if you're watching this, but are you really gonna fucking? Oh shit! My cat is visible from behind my head. Hi, kitty. Are you really going to bail on us for fucking Matt? What is
Technically-
guys? What is my cat doing?
Technically, I had the Matt scheduled
Yeah,
before we started collabing, so on Wednesday.
What is?
If it is a game, it'll probably be Sea of Thieves followed by Uno. That's usually how it goes.
That's usually. I think your cat's chasing a bug.
I think so.
Your cat's chasing demons.
That too.
I fucking hope not. 'Cause
Alright.
that means I have demons in my apartment. Anyway,
Well, Godspeed with your demons.
Oh,
I gotta
don't
go to
fucking
bed.
tell me that. Yeah, y'all need to get to bed. I have to go and make sure a friend of mine is okay. I was messaging her before we went live, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit her up and see what she's up to.
Alright.
But yeah, thank you
Research your
guys.
stream communities
Oh,
before joining them.
yes, I need to raid somebody. We need to raid somebody.
Yes.
What? Who? Hang on. Let me get here.
Got anyone?
I can find somebody. Let me see here. We're going to go to twitch.tv. Whoa,
Anyone in chat who's watching right now got a suggestion? Just
Oh,
in
I
case.
got some people. Don't you worry about that, Daddy. I'm gonna find somebody. All right, so who is at the bottom of my live pool? Josh is live with White Noise 2.
Oh,
Joy's live. Hold on. I know who we're going.
oh
We're
wow,
hitting.
Josh, I guess.
Yep. Sorry, Josh. I have a priority, and Joy is at the top. Jabinski is also live. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna hit up Joy. I was gonna go to Bella, but Bella is not live, so we're gonna go talk to Joy. All right, so we're gonna /raid Joyful
My God.
Death.
Yeah, no, these glasses, Jesus, no.
Yes, we're gonna go ahead and raid Joy. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means the world to me to have you guys pop into this weekly podcast. Are we gonna be back here next Sunday? Same time,
Probably.
same place.
Probably that's going to be the last thing I do before the stream. So
Okay, so yes, we'll definitely.
Possibly if I have not just passed out because I'm camping next weekend, so it's gonna be.
Well, just let me know.
I'm
We have
probably going to be hungover and very tired.
we have people we can reach out to if we have to. It won't be a massive issue. But I do know Vivid wants to do another podcast like this to help promote his big stream coming up next week. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll
it's for
definitely.
charity.
Gotta promote
Yes.
that charity.
We will be live with another one of these podcasts next Sunday. Leppely's participation is up in the air, depending on how bad her camping trip goes.
Yep.
I will have a topic sometime in the next couple of days, as I typically do, and I will do research on it the day of the podcast, like I did today. You guys have a fantastic night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night.
Rating Joy. I should have probably had her stream up before it went live. She's playing 7 Days to Die.
I thought you